Hey guys, and welcome back to an absolutely gorgeous sunny day. We got to enjoy it because this will be the last sun that we get for about a day and a half, and then it'll be back. We've got one of the round bale wagons hooked up today. We have this sitting out front in our parking lot, hooked up to the truck. Today is the delivery of all those materials that we ordered a little bit ago. And after enough deliveries, I found out a pretty good system of having everything just set up and ready to go. So when the delivery driver gets here, he can put all the building materials right on the wagon for me, making it simple for me to drive it right down. I might be using my truck or my tractor to get the materials to the build site. Time will tell. We're gonna head on in and get started feeding horses for today. Of course, we're gonna check on Argento among all the other horses we gotta take care of. And today is an exciting one. Today we are gonna be starting our build marathon on the hay barn with the aim and goal of completing it, but time will tell. Mom is here already, hard at work. She's already given Argento his morning treatments. How was he this morning?
He was really good.
That's good to see.
Good. Not quite made the connection of when you put it in the portal and 3 seconds later his eye burns. He's not quite made that. So he's like, oh, you're hugging me, how nice. Like, okay. And I put it in really quick, and then he's like, hey, what was that? And of course, the pills, anytime you give him food, he's like, okay, I will eat all of that. So that's been good.
Very good. That's good to see.
A little difficult giving him the Banamine. He's like, I know what that is.
You can see that with Mom marking everything down, this helps both Gavin and myself for treatment. So this is a way that everybody is on the same page. Everybody knows the treatments that's going in, and there'll be little check marks to ensure that they are actually taken care of on the time slot they're supposed to, because he's being treated 3 times a day, correct?
3 times a day with this antibiotic. Once a day with the Banamine, once a day with the dilator, and twice a day, 8 hours between for the antibiotic pills.
Okay, very good. So there's a lot there.
Yeah. A
lot there, but she's putting it all down, making it nice and organized for us. We're gonna let her get back to it. Let's get the horses in. All right, with everybody in, what we're gonna do now is switch gears, and we're gonna head on over to the tractor, and we're gonna clean out the middle field hay feeder. It is due for a cleaning, especially considering we've got more rain coming. But before that, I'm going to grab our hose reel and run our hose over and fill up the extra trough for the horses over here. There we go. Very good. This is a big trough. This thing holds about 150 gallons, so that'll take pretty much the entire time cleaning out the middle field feeder to fill up. You know, for getting a couple inches of rain, it really don't look too bad out here. We really needed it. Yeah, that needs a good cleaning. Oh yeah. We've gotten about a little over 2 inches of rain, and with rain comes slop, so we're gonna get this cleaned out nice and good for our horses. Horses. don't dig down at all. Everything I'm grabbing is just manure, scooping it off the top. The ground is very solid here. From years upon years upon years of the horses being here, they've packed it down. Why it's this small pasture and why we have it this way. It allows for a nice, easy, good cleanup. Everything dries down nice and quick. And the horses get the food that they need. And they're not going to be standing in their own filth, which I'm very happy about. So that's good. Very good. One thing that we do need to do, it is on the list, is I need to dig down this hill and re-slope this hill coming in and make a ditch somewhere in here that runs the water around and down and out, and then angle this down so water runs away from the building on both sides instead of into the building. That I will need an excavator for, so time will tell in regards to when I am able to do that, but that is also on the mile-long to-do list. My goodness, the store is busy today. Got the tractor set up and ready. We're gonna hook up to the yard rake, which is what we use as an arena drag. It's one of my only attachments that are not quick hitch compatible, so we had to take the quick hitch off, and that gets us set up as well for attaching to the post hole auger, which we will need for tomorrow. Yeah, that's exciting. Still waiting for that delivery truck to get here. He should be here sometime. I think I'm gonna give him a call because I don't have a delivery window, so I'd like to know the delivery window if possible. And we gotta get all the horses turned out because they are like, Joel, it's beautiful outside. Get us out. I know, boys, I know. So much to do. Look at that, beautiful. And as I reel this in, I will be taking the bird's nest out because a bird has decided this right here is the most prime real estate. These were sent to us by a company called Giraffe Tools. Full disclosure, like I said, they were sent to us. I did not pay for these, but I have not had a single issue with these other than two things. One, if you're getting one, make sure you check the hose diameter because these came in a 5/8 size, which is fine for most gardeners, but just make sure that that is exactly, you know, what you're going for, what you'd like. Otherwise, you'll run into a problem where you don't have enough water flow. And then the other problem is that apparently they make sweet bird ounces. The amount of horsehair and hay in here is reminding me of why the birds like it here so much, because really good building nest material. You guys hear birds all the time in our stable, and to be honest with you, we don't really do much to mitigate them. They don't really bother us too much other than, you know, bird droppings on top of the boards and everything like that you have to pressure wash every now and then to clean off. But honestly, not a big deal. I like the sound of birds. They don't really bother me that much. See that? That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Yeah, the company doesn't work with me anymore, so I don't have a discount code or anything for them. But let's get the horses out. With all the horses turned out, I can now turn my attention to some jobs that have been on the list for a while, but because of more pressing matters, I just have not had the opportunity to get to them until today. First one is cleaning up the manure that we put down back when that ice was really badly. We had to wait until everything fully thawed and then some. So we're going to use that yard rake because that does a really good job of just kind of picking up everything. And we're going to drag this lower arena, get all the mud and material together, take it down to where we piled up the manure for the middle field. And then we also are going to level off and drag the arena because that is in need. Now, with rain coming tomorrow, what I do is in the arena basically going to be kind of just immediately undone. The ground's going to get hard again, but at the very least it'll be level, and I'll take level. I also found out, hello kitty. I also found out that there are 2 delivery trucks coming with both of our orders. So I'm hopeful that it'll all fit on that wagon. I'm hopeful. That should work. So here's our lower ring. This is basically only used as a medicinal pasture now for horses that are injured or hurt. But it is an arena, should anybody want to use it. And I try to maintain it as best I can. So we're going to work on gathering all the manure up and trucking that out and then loosening up the stones to make it look nice and pretty. First delivery truck's here. Well, there's our first delivery. That is sheet metal. All the white sheet metal for buttoning up the trusses and the sides. I'm gonna move that over there to make room for the next delivery. And they didn't put it on a pallet or anything like that, so I'm optimistically hopeful that I can use this wagon down there for the weekend. It's just the weekend, so it should work out. Anyway, back to what we're doing. We just unloaded our last bucket load of manure from the lower arena. I'm gonna run over it real quick with the drag to drag it out. Then we'll put some hay in there, and then we can finally let our Gento out. And then tonight, because of the rain, he won't be able to be out at all. He'll have to be kept in a stall, so we're gonna put Obi in the stall next to him, so he's got a little buddy for the night. We can't risk his head getting wet. All right, perfect. The arena down there is now cleaned out and drug. Very happy about that. That's the first time this season I was able to finally get to that. Tell you what, it is gonna be nice once this hay barn is built and done and we're using it, because then it'll allow me to get back to doing all the other stuff that is all little, but boy, it adds up quick. All right, let's get RJ his hay, and then he's the last guy we can turn out for the day. So he can go dirty this right back up for me. Wasn't too bad though, an entire season. I mean, granted, we do, you know, scoop up the manure in here all the time. It's just the old hay that they don't eat and the manure that was put down for them to have traction. But boy, does it look a lot better now, huh? All right, so first things first here. I see the donkeys eyeing me up. They're like, hey, what are we doing here? We're gonna open up the gate between them and Honey, allowing these guys to go back and forth with each other. Right, Buster? Right, Rocky? I think I gotta do some dragging down here too. There we go. Don't kick me, Honey. Yeah. Beautiful. Very good. That's that. So now these guys can go back and forth with each other. I love that. Man, this ring looks good. I'd ride around down here, that's for sure. A little bit of hay for the RJ. And now we can turn him out. He's been ever so patiently waiting. Haven't you, brother? There we go. So now he has full access to the lower ring. He could see his buddies. He could get a drink of water. And he's got a little stall for him to get out of the weather and the sun if he wants. So that's that for RJ. All right, it is 11:48. See what we can do with the upper arena here, and then we'll take a quick break for lunch, and then we'll get back to working on the upper ring. And once that's done, then it's pretty much just getting the logistics down to the hay barn. Hopefully our second delivery shows up at some point. Get that all tucked away and ready to go, and get the barn set up and ready for us to hammer away at finishing everything up. Get all the tools set up, get all the generators ready, so we're ready to go tomorrow. Quite thrilled actually. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day, but that doesn't stop us from working, because all the work that we're doing is actually on the inside of the barn. We're putting in that diversion wall for the horses. So I'm very pleased about that. We can work in the rain, we can stay dry. That's what I'm talking about. That definitely looks so much better. Oh my goodness, I'm very happy with that, and I think our clients will be very happy with that. Good deal. All right, I am going to go and get some lunch. Hopefully our next delivery driver shows up with the main load, which has a lot more stuff on it than just that sheet metal. So if not, that's fine. I can head on down to the hay barn and move things around down there, and you guys know there's plenty of work to do. Just got a call from our delivery driver. Sounds like he's about an hour out. So we're just gonna wait for him to get here, because the store is on the busier side of things today, and I don't want him to get stuck in all the commotion of the store. And then once that's loaded, I can get this stuff all down in the hay barn. I got a bunch of little odd jobs taken care of while we were moving things around. That all those tools that we got, I unloaded. So the generator, the air compressor, the acetylene torch, and the welder are all unloaded and in the hay barn. And I got the trailer put back up. I also got some logs loaded up on that. So Gavin, you'll be happy about that. You get your manure wagon back. I know you're gonna be ecstatic about that. Dad, you'll be happy. You can get your trailer full of wood and bring it on home. Well, that's good, go. I think I'm gonna eat this orange, and then I'm gonna mow some grass, because the grass needs to be mowed here, and I kinda don't wanna leave this spot. See how this orange tastes. I've had better. This is definitely pretty good. What's your favorite fruit to eat for snacks? I'd say my favorite fruit tea is probably strawberries, but oranges are definitely like top 5. Up there with apples. But none of these baking apples. I'm talking eating apples. Oh, you ever eaten a baking apple on accident? Some people like them, but not for me. Not for me. Wait for the delivery. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here. This isn't too crazy yet, but there's cars right there and the whole parking lot's full, and then everyone's trying to, of course, look for parking in the parking lot. So the fact that I have a delivery truck coming today, obviously I want to be there to help the delivery driver out. Normally I don't feel like I need to babysit this area as much, but I want to be here so when he shows up I can make eye contact with him, tell him where he's going. So anyway, I figured I would take this opportunity to share with you guys what we got going on for the afternoon. So we do have some rain moving in this afternoon. It looks like basically around 5-6 p.m. is when it's going to start raining. So hopefully we'll have all the horses in, and if you look at our lows, our low is 47, and then the high for tomorrow is only 52 degrees. So 52 degrees, and it's raining all day into the nighttime. 44 is the low. So that's pretty cold weather. I'm thinking we could keep the horses in, but that is going to be a full day, a full night, and another full night. And they will hate that tremendously, and then they will tear up the pasture when they get out because they'll be so pent up with all their energy. So we're gonna do a turnout with sheets, and we're gonna have to put sheets on tonight to ensure that they are set for tomorrow's weather, which does mean that our evening feeding is going to be a little lengthened, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So that being said, what do we got going on for the weekend? Look at that. Saturday, Sunday, perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for this Mother's Day weekend. I'm happy about that. So this building materials we're gonna take right down to the hay barn build site. We're gonna unhook the wagon there, and then that is set for tomorrow for us. And then we're gonna get back up here and we're gonna feed horses. And then tomorrow we're working inside the build, working inside the barn. We're gonna be putting in that main wall for the horses to turn it into a feeder, as well as the posts to act as another support, our third set of supports inside the building. She's handled some crazy winds since then, and it's been fine, but we like to be a little bit more safe than sound. So, alrighty guys, I'll turn the camera on either as we're heading down to the build site or as we are loading. All right, he's here, and they brought a big truck, so I'm glad I was waiting. I'm gonna help him head out, and I gotta strap that down. 2 ought to do it. All right, he got out of here nice and smooth, nice and easy, and we got our load secured. We're gonna take this right down to the hay barn, put it right inside so it's out of the rain for tomorrow, and then we could take off from tomorrow. I'm so excited. Good deal, that's it. That's the last stuff. Yes! Now the trick is gonna be making sure I put this wagon in a spot where it's not really in the way. Easier said than done. I really think that the best way for me to put this thing in here would be to back it in and then swing it over here and then pull it forward. But I don't think that there's enough room for my truck to pull it around Petey's tractor and bring it up and around through here and then turn down and in. If I move my tractor, that'll work. We could try it. You're raining outside? Hey, that worked out absolutely perfectly. Very happy about that. Our building materials are in the build site, baby. Woohoo! Only one last thing that I need that's not here yet, and that is a piece of equipment that we actually rented. I know. Call me crazy, call me insane. I actually did rent one piece of equipment to build this entire barn, and I'll tell you guys about it when it's here. But the only reason I was able to rent it is because it is extremely local, and they were extremely generous and nice about letting us use this piece of equipment over the weekend. So we got it at a really good price. It was not the full price. If it was the full price, then I would have tried to figure out something else that you guys probably would have told me is not a good idea, but I would have done it anyway. All right, last thing that we need to do is we're gonna hook up to this postal logger here. Last time this girl was used was when we were actually drilling all the holes for the building that we're right next to now. She's a bit heavy. I went and left all my hitch pins on the arena drag, and I was like, that's the only thing I'll hook up to that needs a hitch pin. That shot me in the butt. I guess the saying's in the foot, not in the butt. Whatever. We did it, guys, we did it. Very good. I tapped the PTO shaft on my truck. I'm gonna put some lubricant on that first before I put that on. All the horses are in, thanks to my mom and Peter. We got all of the sheets on all of the horses, so they're all ready to go out. Argento has gotten his treatment from mom and is looking great. We just swapped things all over it. He cannot get wet for this week, so he is gonna be in his stall for the night, and he's got Obi as a stall buddy for him. So Obi's gonna be staying inside with him to keep him company through the night. Right, buddy? And he's got his new fly mask on for the nighttime. So they're set, they're done. Peter got water, I got hay. Mom took care of the medicine. Teamwork. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't, don't forget to hit that like button, consider subscribing. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.